Now let us calculate the area of half period zone. For that, you know that the first half period zone is a circle with a radius r1 is equal to root of b lambda. Therefore, the area of first half period zone is the area of a circle having radius r1, which is equal to pi r1 square, which is equal to pi b lambda. The second half period zone is an annular region between two circles with a radius r1 equal to root of b lambda and r2 equal to root of 2b lambda. So the area of the annular region is pi r2 square minus pi r1 square, area of the larger circle minus area of the smaller circle. So substituting for r2 and r1, we are getting pi 2b lambda minus pi b lambda, which is equal to pi b lambda. In general, the area of nth half period zone can be taken as pi b lambda, which is equal for all half period zone. But it is not a constant, depends upon the value of distance b as well as the wavelength we are using. So as the distance from the half period zone to the screen increases, the area of half period zone increases, and if you are using the wavelength of light with a higher value, then also the area of half period zone increases. Now let us see the effect at P on screen. That depends on two factors. The first one is the area of half period zone and the second one is the obliquity factor. And also you should remember the secondary wavelets reaching P are continuously out of phase with the adjacent half period zone. So since the area of half period zones are equal and obliquity increases with the half period zone, with that half period zone outside from O, we can write M1, the effect at P due to various half period zone. First half period zone, let it be M1, M2, M3, M4 for second, third and fourth half period zone. You can write M1 is greater than the effect at P due to the first half period zone will be bigger. So M1 is greater than M2, which is greater than M3, which is greater than M4. So there is a gradual decrease in effect from first half period zone to higher half period zone. Now, and also the wavelets from first half period zone will be out of phase with the wavelets of the second half period zone when it reaches the point at P on the screen. Now, if you are trying to draw the amplitude of light reaching P due to M1, which is M1, M2, M3, M4, etc., we can see the diagram. The total effect will be M1 by M2. Next, we have to prove that the total effect at P due to all these effects M1, M2, M3, M4, etc. is M1 by M2. Now we are consider the combined effect at P due to all these half period zone. Let the total number of half period zone exposed at the point P is N. Therefore, the total effect M is equal to M1 minus M2 plus M3 minus M4 plus etc. Plus or minus Mn. If n is an odd number, the last term will be plus Mn. If n is an even number, the last term will be minus Mn. Now we are considering a special case. If the number is an odd number and the smallest odd number, let it be 3. Okay, then m can be taken as, we are splitting m1 as m1 by 2 plus m1 by 2, and since the value of m1, m2, m3 etc. are gradually decreasing, we can write m2 as an average of first half period zone and third half period zone, or m2 is equal to m1 plus m3 divided by 2. So total effect m is equal to m1, which can be split as m1 by 2 plus m1 by 2 minus m2, m3 also we are dividing as m3 by 2 plus m3 by 2, and the last the center terms, that is m1 by 2 minus m2 plus m3 by 2 cancel each other, since m2 is equal to m1 plus m3 divided by 2. So the total amplitude at P due to 3 number of half period zone is equal to m1 by 2 plus m3 by 2. If you are considering n is equal to 5, we are getting m1 by 2 plus m5 by 2. So in general, if n is an odd number, the total amplitude at any point on the screen is given as m1 by 2 plus mn by 2. And if there are large number of half period zone, the effect at P due to the higher order half period zone are very, very less comparing with the first half period zone. Therefore, since m1 by m2 is very, very larger comparing with the mn by 2, we can approximate the effect at P as m is equal to m1 by 2 as shown in the figure. Now we will consider the effect at P if n is an even number. If n is even, total amplitude m can be written as m1 minus m2 plus m3 minus etc. minus mn. For example, if you are considering n is 4, m can be written as m1 by 2 plus m1 by 2 minus m2 plus m3 by 2 plus m3 by 2 minus m4. And you know that m2 is equal to m1 plus m3 divided by 2. Therefore, m1 by 2 minus m2 plus m3 by 2 cancels. Therefore, total amplitude due to 4 half period zone is equal to m1 by 2 plus m3 by 2 minus m4. So in general, if n is an even number, the total amplitude at the screen equal to m is equal to m1 by 2 plus n minus 1 by 2 minus mn. And you know that if n is a very large number, the effect due to the last and second last half period zones are very negligible comparing with the first half period zone, or n minus 1 by 2 and mn are very, very low comparing with the m1 by 2. In that case, the total amplitude can be taken as m1 by 2 as shown in the figure. So though n is a even or odd number, if n is a very large value, then the total amplitude will be m1 by 2. And if you know the amplitude of light, we can easily find out the intensity. And you know that intensity is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. Therefore, the total intensity at P is equal to m square, which is equal to m1 square by 4. Or can tell that the total effect on screen due to the whole wavefront is only 1/4 of the amplitude due to the first amplitude intensity due to the first half period zone. So this is the reason for approximate rectilinear propagation. Now if you are you know that the area of first half period zone is pi b lambda, and if you are considering an obstacle, or in most cases the size of the obstacle will be very large comparing with the area of the first half period zone, since lambda is in the nanometer order. Hence, in common experience, we will not observe diffraction, or diffraction is not evident, since the size of the obstacle is very large comparing with the wavelength of the light. If you are able to completely obstruct only the first half period zone of the wavefront, we will get no light at the screen. So now we are considering the sound waves. Sound waves have wavelength much larger comparing with that of light. Therefore, very large obstacle is needed to obstruct the first half period zone of the sound wave. That's the reason why sound waves shows diffraction phenomena more dominant comparing with that of light. Hence, if the size of the obstacle is small comparing with that of the wavelength of light, or is comparable with that of wavelength of light, in that case it is possible to observe illumination in the region of geometrical shadow region. So rectilinear propagation of light is only an approximation.